Hey, I'm Blake.
And I'm Dave.
We're back, guys. It's another weekly movie stream. Dave, how you doing?
Woo-hoo! I am, decent-ish.
Sounds convincing.
Decent-ish.
Sounds
Yeah.
convincing. Go on.
Well, there is good news and bad news.
Oh, give me all the bad news.
Okay, bad news is I'm still in Ohio.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What's the good news?
I have an apartment in LA.
Hey! Look at that, guys. I'm so proud of you, Dave.
Thanks, man. It's actually all because of you.
It's true. Let me take my bow. I went in, I schmoozed the people, and I got Dave his apartment. I have his key, so if you Venmo me $5, I'll give you his address, and you can go shit on his porch. Just saying.
Wait a minute. Huh? Hang on now.
So anyway, Dave, congratulations, buddy. Things are going well.
Shouldn't I get a cut of this at least?
Nope. I have more beer to buy.
What are you talking about? You get free beer from your friends.
That is true. That's what I'm drinking. That's what I'm going to be drunk by the end of this. I'm drinking like a 7.5%, like IPA. It's heavy. It's not my first choice. It is delicious. I'm going to be drunk though. Just a fair warning.
Great.
Yes,
Chloe won. Blake does win Best Friend of the Year award.
I can't tell if that's ironic or not, but I'll take it.
Pizzas, no, we're dead serious. Pizzas, I literally can't go out there without transferring my job.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, lots of stuff. But hey, Pizzas, what's up? Chloe One, what's up? Always good to see you. If you're here, give us a shout out in the chat. So lots of things going on, Dave. I've had a pretty crazy week.
Your week's been really crazy.
Bonkers, but good stuff. I'm tired. I don't sleep often, but also we are wrapping up season 3 production of the podcast.
Yes, we are. We got one more left.
Yes, and we had an episode come out yesterday.
We sure did. Mob movies. With a special guest was my cousin Floriana. She was an actress.
Yes.
And we did The Godfather versus Goodfellas.
Yes, dude, and I love both of these movies so much. They're both so good. Not to speak for Dave, but Dave didn't like either of them because he thought they were too long.
Listen now. I didn't say I didn't like them. I just said they were too long.
I'm putting words in his mouth on purpose to skew everybody's perception of Dave.
It's true.
Yeah. But it's a really fun episode. And so we'd love if you guys would check it out. It's also on YouTube. We're getting to a place here in just a couple episodes. You're going to see us full video on YouTube. So you can watch the show and see our faces. I don't know if that's something you want to do, but you can. Well, if you want.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a glutton for punishment, why not, you know?
It's true. Yeah. If you hate yourself and you want to bleed from your eyeballs, watch our show, dude. No worries.
It's true. Yeah. Also bleed from your ears too. That wasn't bad enough.
Yeah, that was a given. Billy, does that man have Ebola? Nope. Just been listening to First Price Films on YouTube.
It's awful. Pizzas, by the way.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Up, man? Thank you. We
Much appreciated.
You. That's amazing. Thanks, man. Pizzas. My cousin is not married to Casey Affleck. She dated him for a few years, and they are no longer together.
Yep. Moving on upwards and out. We're up in Adam. I don't know. I was gonna say something and I lost it.
Yep, you fucked that up. That's fine.
Am I already drunk? But yeah, lots of things going on in the world. But I'm excited for the rest of what we have going on this season. We have a few more films coming up. What are we doing next week?
We do. Next week, for our show. It's episode 4, and now that you put me on the spot, I realize I don't fucking remember.
It's cult movies.
Cult movies. Thank you. Midsommar and the Wicker Man.
The original Wicker Man from the 70s, featuring the weirdest version of Donald Sutherland. Well, I don't know if that's actually true, but it's a weird movie. So
it's a very weird movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
Neither one of us had any clue what the fuck was happening, but that's fine.
No. Talk about though, but yeah, man, lots of fun things, but also lots of things going on in the realm of movies. We got some movies.
Sir, we surely do.
Do you want to take first, or do you want me to hop in?
I will go first.
Let
me make a pick here. I'm gonna do something to piss you off or something to make you happy. Let's see here.
Ooh, the eternal question.
Eternal question. I'm gonna go with something to make you a little happy here.
Oh, thank you.
Joaquin Phoenix is teaming up with Ari Aster again on on his next movie, which is expected to be a Western.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I'm really, really excited for Beau is Afraid coming out soon. What date? When does that actually come out? Jordan, I don't know if you could find that for us. But I'm really excited for that movie. There's a lot of movies coming out that I'm excited for, but that one probably the most.
Yeah. Yeah. You've definitely mentioned how excited you are for that, and I am decently excited for it just because I'm sure Ari Aster is gonna blow my mind again. But this movie doesn't really say exactly what it is. It just says that it seems that Phoenix and Aster genuinely enjoyed working together on Beau is Afraid,
Cool.
which is going to be kind of fun seeing what kind of Western that Ari Aster is able to come up with.
Dude, I'm really excited.
What movie is this?
The movie's called Beau is Afraid. And
I was gonna look it up, but I forgot.
yeah. Let me know when it comes out because it's got to be soon. I'm very, very excited. But have you seen it? Did I make you watch the trailer for that, Dave? It looks
Yes, you did.
bonkers. It looks so good. I'm really excited. It looks like kind of like an acid trip. So
yes,
it should be cool.
It definitely looks very bonkers, and I'm kind of excited to see what it's
April
about.
21st. Okay, so in about a month. I think the new Evil Dead is coming out, and
wait
around
a
the same time too. What?
I'm gonna be in LA and after
Oh yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
I was only mentioning it because that's when the movie comes out, but sure. Gonna be in LA for a week for a vacation and also to check out my new home.
Yep.
It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a blast. We'll probably do like a movie night or something. Unfortunately, the Oscars don't come around that quick, so we can't get banned again. But next year, it's gonna be fun though. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a live movie night too.
Yes, I really want to do a live movie night. It's been a minute since we've done one. We've both been crazy busy, so I'm excited to get back into that. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun getting back into that. I know we tend to not really do much when we're in production in terms of movie nights, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, we got to find something weird. Well, whatever. There's plenty of weird public domain movies to watch. Looking at you, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. We've watched so much weird shit on our movie night, so I'm excited to start that up again.
Yeah, me too. I really love watching weird public domain movies. It's a good time.
Yeah, it is a good time. But we do have some more news, Dave.
Yes.
It has been announced that Questlove, the drummer for The Roots, he's going to direct a live-action Aristocats adaptation.
Oh, that's so cool!
Absolutely. But here's the thing: we've talked about the live-action adaptations. I don't really care either way. I don't see the point of them because they're not really live-action; they're just animated a different way.
That's
so
true. Well, I don't know, man. Cats was
my favorite movie of the year. Thanks, Dave. I'm glad we got to talk about that. That's a fucking acid trip. If you want a bad one, watch the movie Cats. But it's bad. But this I'll be interested to see because I think Questlove is an incredibly creative human, incredibly talented human. So this is right up his alley in terms of music and everything because it's about jazz. This is, despite the racist stereotypes that are very prevalent in that movie, it is definitely my favorite like animated Disney film. I just love the music so much. I love it. I grew up on that one, and it's probably my favorite Disney film. Obviously with a little bit of a caveat there, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up seeing this, not in theaters, but.
What is happening?
Something.
I asked ChatGPT what First Prize Films was, and that's what they said.
What the hell is Chat GPT?
It's automation.
What?
It's a robot. It's AI. I asked it how to do something for work for me today, and it wrote a whole code.
You don't know what ChatGPT
What?
is, Dave?
I've never
man.
heard of this.
Oh my gosh.
I am. What?
I feel like I need to pull this up for Dave.
Well, it's a long thing to go into. It's basically it's AI that can, execute different functions, can write code. It's basically going to get rid of administration jobs across the nation.
Cool beans.
So it's coming. The robot apocalypse has begun.
It has begun. I heard something in terms of the robot apocalypse that is two different things, actually. One, I actually neither one I really looked too much into because I was like, sure.
Yeah.
But the first one is that apparently there's an AI that was not programmed to, but just decided to teach itself, I think, physics. It was not programmed to. It just goes, you know what? I want to learn physics, and taught itself. Again, I have not verified any of this information.
This is, oh man, this is not good. This is not good at all. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be fun at first, and then it's going to get really scary really quick.
Let's see. News.
That's so funny.
Oh, and that was last year.
What?
Apparently, an AI taught itself to spot disease on chest X-rays.
Well, that's the thing too. Like some of the new AI stuff is gonna help with medicine and basically help. I think it helped like finish sequencing the human genome and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's like a lot of medical benefits and a lot of like benefits to it for sure. But also, I think we're gonna wade into an ethics issue very, very quickly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I can't remember why this is in my brain. I can't remember if it's like something I saw on the internet or something I dreamed up in my head because I'm a lunatic. But somebody said that they think that AI is gonna cure cancer.
I mean, I think that's a fair assumption, honestly. Mm-hmm. I don't see why not. I don't see why it couldn't solve. I mean, it's already solved a bunch of like these like crazy equations people have never been able to solve and all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, pizzas. Yeah.
I feel like I have a new game for tonight.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be wild. Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, but also to relay this over into movies, how is AI gonna translate to film production? Because creative fields are something that is hard to replicate, right?
Yes,
it's hard to replicate in that way. Like you can automate, code, or you can automate somebody's like administration job, on those like technical things. But creativity, I think, is hard to do. There's already things that'll like quote unquote write a script for you. But, it's with varying results, sure. But I think it could be, I don't know. It's weird. But I think creative jobs are going to be the ones that last the longest until they don't.
You mean against AI?
Well, yeah. I think James Cameron is like, I'm so fucking rich, though. It's not going to affect me at all.
Probably.
he was ready for this, so.
Yeah. Speaking of too much money.
Yeah.
Was
that an actual segue?
No. Fast and Furious. That's they've made too much money. Fast and Furious 11, which is the end of the franchise. Vin Diesel has said that the film will feature a touching goodbye to Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor.
Mhm.
He said that moment in 2013 when the world was struggling with his loss, the studio made a very bold and righteous and daring decision to keep Brian O'Connor alive. I will
Mhm.
give you this without spoiling anything. I couldn't imagine this saga ending without truly saying goodbye to Brian O'Connor.
Okay.
Here's the thing. That's you basically just spoiled it, because they already said goodbye to Brian O'Connor by like writing him off into the sunset with his family, and now he's saying now we're gonna get an ending for Brian O'Connor. They're gonna kill him.
No, that's first off, I don't care. But second off, I saw the end of that movie, literally like just that scene where like they drive off two diverging paths. So now at the end of this movie, are they gonna be driving on a highway where their paths merge again? Like, hey, hey.
What? This road goes. That's funny. I didn't realize.
Wait, weird. This is awkward. It's like when you finish a conversation, you go to walk away and you end up going the same way. Hey, this fucking guy.
It's like that scene in Superbad when he's like, okay, thanks, and they start walking the same way. He's like, bye.
Dude, the amount of times that has happened to me in my real life is enough to make your skin crawl. I'm horribly uncomfortable in person with everybody. But Icky, no, I haven't seen Midjourney 5. I don't even know what Midjourney 5 is. So I'm gonna have to take a little look-see in the Discord about that. But yeah, weird stuff. But up your alley, something going on, Dave. There's another Power Rangers movie coming out with the original cast minus Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah, so I saw Amy Jo Johnson tweet about it, and she's like, "Sorry, I don't want to try to fit into spandex when I'm 50 years old."
Can't blame her.
Which, like, right, exactly. Excuse me, but I don't think it's an actual movie. I think it's a special.
Okay.
Like,
for who?
I
looked into special for it, Dave.
I gotta look into it again.
As an OG Power Rangers fan, though, is this something you would watch? Is this something you care about?
No, they're all old.
And like, I don't really care that they're old. I love Power Rangers growing up. I just don't care in general, I guess. So like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not even like a relevant thing. But that's the thing, like with Spider-Man, it's a brand new Spider-Man movie. People still go to see those. Nobody went and saw the last Power Rangers like reboot movie in 2017, and I don't think anybody cares. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like this like underground like OG Power Rangers like fan club. Are you okay, Dave?
Maybe. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading. I was frozen. No. I think. Well, I know there is a like underground like Power Rangers like group of people, I guess, but it seems that it's just a special where they're fighting Rita Repulsa. I think it's just like part of the show. You know, the long running, way too long show that needs to end and never did.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. But regardless, no, I don't care. I don't care. I like that they tried to remake it. I hate that they failed. And
it wasn't
also,
as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but still,
it wasn't good.
Also, I found out that they apparently filmed this before Jason David Frank died, and I'm like, well, why the fuck isn't he in there? He's the only one that I would believe is actually capable of fighting anybody at his age.
That's a good point. I mean, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, age, blah blah blah, because I don't really care. You know, I think I think they could do something interesting. It's just like, does anybody truly, like our age, we're in our 30s, dog. Does anybody our age have time or be care enough to be like, I'm going to watch this Power Ranger specials with the original Power Rangers actors? Like, I don't know.
No.
Are we that devoid of I don't know, hooking into new content? Are we that stuck on our childhoods? I don't know. That's a general question.
Well, okay. Here's an existential answer to your existential question.
Bring it.
Our childhoods, when we were young enough to watch the Power Rangers, our entire generation was the last time our lives were generally good. So We hadn't experienced a 9/11 yet. We hadn't experienced a recession. We hadn't experienced a second recession. We hadn't experienced a pandemic. We hadn't experienced a war or a second war. It was the last time our lives were generally okay.
Listen, man, when you're right, you're right. That's the most depressing answer I've heard in a while. So thanks, Dave. Thank you, sir. I'm going to pass out on my couch tonight watching Power Rangers reruns. I remember when life was good.
That's why we got all these remakes and these live action remakes and all this stuff, because it's like that's what life used to be good.
I'm not gonna lie though, after because we did a stream on the latest Power Rangers movie, and talking about this kind of makes me want to watch one of those OG Power Rangers movies, because I loved them when I was a kid. I think I had one on VHS. I think that could be fun to do. I don't know. Obviously, they're gonna be bad. Like, I'm not expecting it to be good or hold up in any realistic way, but I'm curious because I was obsessed with that movie when I was a kid. I like the first one.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying that too. And I think it was the first, because obviously the whole thing is that they took the Power Rangers straight from a Japanese show and they just kept all of the original fight scenes and just refilmed the non-fight scenes. But I'm pretty sure that the movie was the first time it was like all American anything.
That makes sense, actually. It makes a lot of sense. Well, it would have to be. Yeah, Icky, like Ivan Ooze was cool, and I don't know, I like the purple like slimy things. I thought it was like really colorful and fun, and I don't know, I don't remember much about it, but I remember my grandmother taking me to see it when I was like 5 or 6 at like the dollar theater, and I was like so pumped, so freaking pumped. We got popcorn and everything. It was so good, dude. Shout out to Grandma.
I remember watching it, and my cousin Josh, who's Dabs on here, when he was really little, I used to go over and babysit. And one time, we were playing his little Dreamcast that he had, and I decided,
Dreamcast.
Let's watch the Power Rangers. Yeah. So we watched the Power Rangers, and I was like enamored by it, and I'm pretty sure he was bored because
he stopped talking to you for a couple of years. Checks out. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel about all this stuff. Like, I'm not like, it's not like anger. It doesn't like anger me, but I'm also kind of like, why? I don't know. Why? Who asked for this?
You know who agrees with you?
Who?
Moving on to the next movie news. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Oh, do they?
Yes,
what did they have to say about the Power Rangers?
No, about you dick. About like sequels and remakes and all that stuff. Apparently someone tried to pitch Good Will Hunting 2 to Ben Affleck.
Well, are we talking about the Kevin Smith thing in was it Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they film like Good Will Hunting 2, where it's Will Hunting like blowing people away with a shotgun. It's really funny. It's like part of the movie. Watch Jane. It's probably not going to hold up either. A lot of Kevin Smith movies don't hold up anymore. But watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and they give you a little taste of Good Will Hunting 2.
No, it is not that. Apparently, someone legitimately tried to pitch Good Will Hunting 2. Like a straight up, like a flat out sequel. Here's the it's a back and forth quote. Matt Damon says, I guess is in an interview. Someone just tried to pitch Ben Good Will Hunting 2. I shit you not. That happened. He told me today. He was like, you're not going to believe what I heard. This was a flat out sequel. I don't get it. Affleck says, Matt is always telling stories that he should not be telling. It's not a sequel we're going to pursue. Like, to be clear, this is not happening.
Yo, that's hilarious. Can we talk segueing off of that for a quick second? I want to ask you your opinion on something. So
yes,
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, they're doing a new movie called Air, the Air Jordan story or whatever. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Based on I can tell by your thing, people are like really, really hyped for this. And I don't know if I care, but I'm also like,
No.
What's up with all these, I don't know, brand kind of movies? It feels like product placement, the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not, but like, I don't know. Are we gonna get Necco wafers the movie? Are we gonna get the story of Necco? Are we gonna get like, but
yes.
like, I don't know. Think of thank you. See?
Oh my God, you guys absolutely said that at the same time.
But like, think about it. Like, what other like big brands would they like make a movie? Like Pepsi, the movie. Like, do we care about how Pepsi? I don't really care how Air Jordans were made. I don't care about so many things. I'm realizing.
I don't. What's up, Truffle?
What's up, dude?
I don't care at all. Stop showing me fucking the beginnings of products or companies or team. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. Show me the Michael Jordan movie. Show me, and like weave that into the thing. But like, I don't really care from the brand's perspective. This like multi-billion-dollar corporation got started. I don't care, dude. I don't give a shit. Yeah, Dr. Pepper the movie. I would watch that shit. 100%.
Here's a little tidbit I found out about. What? The Air movie is that the actor who plays Michael Jordan, we don't get to see his face. That's so they're apparently not even gonna really show him.
It's gonna be Trouble Cream. That's it. It's his cameo, just from over the shoulder. But why the whole movie, the entire marketing and stuff for this movie is like Michael Jordan. He's like the new kid. He's up and coming. We gotta like start the shoe line around Michael Jordan, and we never see him.
Apparently, we never see him.
Are you fucking crazy? We just get to see Ben Affleck in a weird wig and Matt Damon being like, I don't know, I'm just a shoe guy. I don't know. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Know, man. It's all about the feet. That's true, Elon. That is 100% true.
Our only feet tie-in. This is not. You cut our segue short. Subscribe now for more mangled ass toes in your feed. I got you, Doug.
Oh man, you got some more movie news? Because I have a couple more.
Oh, I have one that is. I think it's upsetting for me. It's not going to be upsetting for you, but I think it's upsetting for me. And you guys can let me know how you feel about this. So Paramount, the indie film company Paramount, they're set to remake. I think I've heard of them on the circuits. Paramount is set to remake the Hitchcock classic film Vertigo, potentially starring Robert Downey Jr. Vertigo, if you didn't know, is often up there on like some of the lists of like best films of all time. It's my favorite Hitchcock film by far. Jimmy Stewart starring in it. It's really good, and it's a total head trip for the time. It's a great film. It's so great. Lots of really cool cinematography. Lots really great story. I don't know. But why make Vertigo? Okay, I'm going to reserve judgment. To be clear, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I see something about it. Yes. I don't want another. I don't need a remake. Maybe they'll make a live action remake of Vertigo, but it's still just animated. What do you mean? God. The original was live action. This one's super live action. Don't even worry about it.
Action that it's not live action.
So I don't know. I don't know. Why are you remaking Hitchcock films? Because Gus Van Sant did a shot-for-shot Psycho remake, I think in the 90s, starring Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates and Anne Heche in it. Dude, it's not good. It's not good. I think Gus Van Sant is a really great director. Elephant is one of the most alarming movies I've seen probably in my lifetime. Truly, I truly mean that. But why? I don't know. Why make Vertigo? So it sounds truffle cream. I really want to know, buddy. If you are pro this, because I don't know. I could probably see it with Robert Downey Jr. if he's not playing Robert Downey Jr. You know. Yeah. That sounded like a slight, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Because like the Jimmy Stewart character, he's like a really earnest guy. He's like and he saw this horrible thing. He's like an earnest guy. who like kind of is going crazy a little bit, or he thinks he's going crazy. So I'd be interested because I feel like Robert Downey Jr. would be like, I don't know, just I don't know, I'm not, I don't know, I'm not crazy. This is weird, man. I don't know how I feel about this. So,
I didn't realize that Robert Downey Jr. is is one of those plays the same guy every time. People.
I mean, he didn't used to be, but he's just so charismatic, you know, with like the first Iron Man movie, that he just can play himself, which is great. I think he's great. For the record, I really like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's really awesome. But yeah, but even stuff like you saw Natural Born Killers with me. He was like an Australian correspondent TV guy. Like he can play characters. So
he can, yeah.
I'll be interested to see where that goes. So I'm a little. I don't know, a little nervous. I don't know. I'm sweating a little bit.
Yeah, that actually helps me get into my next thing here.
Bring it.
Sweating is apparently
got there a weird way, but yeah.
Apparently, Chris Pratt is sweating a little bit about his Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Fucking
because he's responded to the voice controversy.
Oh, what did he say?
Here's the quote. He says, go watch the movie and then we can talk. I really think that once you see the movie, and in all honesty, I think you probably need to see it twice. In all honesty, the answer, though, is that this is a passionate fan base, and I understand. I'm a part of it. This is the soundtrack to your youth, and you don't want someone to come along and cynically destroy it as a cash grab with the movie. I fully understand that you do not want that to happen, and there were so many hearts and souls and minds dedicated to making sure that it didn't happen. The movie really honors the video game. It honors the world of Mario and is very promising as to what we could expect over the next 10 years, like an entire universe of these types of movies. They're super nostalgic. They're really fun. It's Illumination, so they know what they're doing. That's a really long-winded way of saying, okay, it's not that bad, guys. Come on.
Did he end that statement with a wahoo? Wahoo! Listen, I think honestly, after Shazam took a shit, I feel like a lot of people are nervous because Shazam was supposed to do good. They expected it to do good. Oh, go ahead. What's up?
No, it definitely did not. Colby, I would read it in Chris Pratt's Mario accent, but I don't know how to do Chris Pratt's actual voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all it is.
I don't remember what I was saying, so you're gonna have to go on.
It was something about something I wasn't listening to.
Checks out from me. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not gonna go see. I don't really care. I hope it's good. I hope people like it. I genuinely hope it's good. I never want movies to fail, but some of them I'm like, obviously. Obviously, I wouldn't say Shazam was an obvious fail. To be clear,
that's what you were talking about, Shazam.
Thank you. I wouldn't say that was like an obvious thing to fail. I thought it would at least make its money back, but it is tanking so hard. It is like
so hard.
Sound the alarms. It's tanking.
Oh come on! How did we let go ourselves, Jordan? You fucking dickhead!
God damn it, Jordan took over our channel points, and we just self-owned it. I don't even know where my Neckos are. No, found them. Oh fuck me!
Great. Yours have been the black licorice the last 5 times in a row.
No, it's the mint one. It's the pink mint one. But I say mint as if it's gonna be like a lifesaver. But it's a lifesaver that's been in your grandmother's purse since 1948, dude. It's the fat version.
Yeah. Yes. All right.
I'm drinking beer and eating Neckos. I don't like it. Oh, it's coming back up. Dude, this is the worst fucking idea we've ever had.
All because we fucking joked about Neckos one goddamn time.
One time. God damn it.
Fuck. It's like a fucking it's like someone wanted to make chalk smell like a Tootsie Roll.
True.
And someone's like, try it, it tastes like one too. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Sure don't.
Oh, that was disgusting.
That was not fun. That was a real bad time, to be clear. So Icky, no, it wouldn't be. The 1979 Captain America wouldn't be in public domain. Typically, I think it's 75-ish years, or I think is it 75 or 50 years? It depends. But also a lot of those like movies and stuff from the 50s are essentially there were fuck ups like Night of the Living Dead, because like the rules were different back then. They didn't put the copyright underneath the title in the opening sequence, and so they're like, oh, tough shit, it's public domain now. so maybe if there was an egregious fuck up like that, then yeah.
Every film made before 1928 is in the public domain, and then every year it's going to go 1929 next year, 1930, so on and so forth.
Yeah, but to be clear, for anybody who's just shown up, we there's a lot of public domain movies from the 50s and 60s that were just like made by like garbage studios, just like churning out a bunch of B movies for like the drive-in and stuff. And nobody owns the rights to them. We literally streamed, like sometimes on Twitch, it'll be like, hey, we recognize bits of this audio and I'll mute some of it. We streamed The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Became Mixed Up Zombies, or whatever it was.
Yes.
We streamed that whole thing, which is, by the way, somebody technically does own the copyright to that, but we streamed the whole thing, was not caught by the algorithm. We ported it over to YouTube. It's on YouTube. You can watch our whole movie night on YouTube with that movie, and none of it is claimed. So sometimes we just take a shot, and it works. Yeah,
works out pretty well, actually. I'd like to say,
if it's obscure enough and weird enough, like, you know, sometimes people it's just not claimed. It's not in the system. So
that's true. I had two more things that I want to touch on here.
Cool.
And one is why, and then the other is I feel like we kind of have to bring it up because I'm very curious as to what's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Apparently Lionsgate is pushing for John Wick 5, even though there's a shocking ending at the end of chapter 4, which I obviously haven't seen yet. Right. But apparently they're like, we want to do a John Wick 5, even though John Wick 4 cut half of Keanu Reeves' dialogue.
I mean, like, I did read something about that. That we're like, oh, we're just gonna keep this behemoth chugging along, dude. We're gonna make this happen regardless. Like, you know, when you're making too much money, some people are like, whatever, we're just gonna do it anyway. It doesn't make sense. And maybe we have to retcon a whole bunch of stuff, looking at you, Halloween, but we're going to do it anyway. We don't give a shit.
Man, I really do need to see. I forgot to tell the chat. I got my license back.
Oh, Dave is coming up big time now. The man is a free driver.
I'm legal driver again. So I'm really excited about that. Now I can actually go see movies. Legally.
Hey, look at that.
Steve Buscemi is John Wick.
I'm on board with
I think
this.
It'd be funny if Jesse Eisenberg was John Wick.
Oh, hi. I mean,
every time he fires a gun, he's like, oh.
I love it. David Fincher's John Wick, starring Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh my god, that would be fucking hilarious.
His little business card. I'm the assassin, bitch.
Oh my god. All right. So I want to go with my last piece of movie news.
Okay.
Because I'm curious as to what you think is going to happen.
Okay.
It's the Jonathan Majors stuff. I don't know if you heard about that.
I have heard about
he was arrested for assault. He apparently tried to strangle somebody.
I don't know anything about the case, to be very clear. So I don't know anything about it.
I don't know much either. I just saw like in passing that he like apparently like got into a fight with somebody at a bar and then tried to like it was like choking them. You know. Not really like what I want to focus on. I want to focus on, I wonder what the fuck Marvel is going to do now that they sunk all of their like future projects as him as the main villain.
All of it, dude. All of it. Yeah, it was the same thing with like Ezra Miller. So both DC and Marvel are kind of like, hopefully everybody forgets about all of these things, because we have like $3 billion sunk in these people, and they're just gonna do it because they are. They're not gonna pull the plug on this stuff. No way.
No, Marvel might.
You think?
They not pull a plug, but they might recast him.
Okay.
Yes. See, Pizza's got it right, because his character, there's infinite versions of him. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about his character.
Yeah.
So. Well, that's an easy out then. Cool. Good
yeah, it's easy for them to be like, "That's it, perfect."
That's what's funny about these multiverse movies. They'd be like, fuck it, we're gonna do whatever we want, and you just have to accept it because blah blah blah, multiverse something. Shut up. $20 a ticket.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Marvel is so much better at handling everything than DCU is. They're watching how DCU basically was like, with the whole Ezra Miller thing. They were like.
They were the Homer Simpson meme. They just step back into the hedge. Yeah.
Ezra?
No. Yeah. I don't know him.
Never heard of him.
And prove that I have.
Prove me wrong.
So, yeah, I'll be, I don't know. I'll be interested. So I don't know what they're gonna do, obviously, but I'll be interested to see what they do. So
poop joke.
Yep, it's a poop joke. I have one last little bit of movie news that probably nobody might ever care about at all except me. But chime in if you do care. So it's a David Lynch thing. I love David Lynch. He's one of my favorite creators of all time.
Yes.
And the last feature film he made was like 2006, a movie called Inland Empire, which I love, but it's weird, and it was shot on like mini DV tapes. It was shot in SD on like a camcorder essentially, and it's disturbing, obviously. It's very strange, but just the way it's shot, like knowing it's shot on a camcorder and how those mini DV tapes looked when I started editing back in 2006. I had to deal with a lot of mini DV tapes, and they shot an entire feature on these things. But Inland Empire is now, for the first time, getting a 4K release, and the post restoration workflow that they have to do to get there is crazy, dude. There's like this whole chart,
dude.
There's this whole chart. I don't have it up here to show, but essentially the way they had to go through like all these different things to get the footage to film, to do all these things, and has to like retransfer and stuff. But essentially they are using AI. I wanted to bring this in earlier, but we kind of got sidetracked. They're using AI to up-res the footage from SD to 4K, and then it has to do another cleanup pass. All of this supervised by David Lynch before it gets released. So I'm really, really excited to see a 4K release of Inland Empire. It looks like shit, to be very clear. The film looks like fucking shit, but it's an aesthetic choice, and it works for it. It looks shitty on purpose, and it's really good. Laura Dern is in it and stuff. Dude, it's great. And we talked about The Grudge, remember?
Yes.
So remember the old lady who like the mom who was put in.
Yes.
In the thing, she's in the house alone. That actress who played in David Lynch's Twin Peaks, but she's also in this as well. There's lots of people in this movie, and we definitely stan Laura Dern. I love her so freaking much. So I can't wait to see this. I don't know if anybody else gives a shit, but I can't wait to see Inland Empire in 4K.
I'd be interested in seeing it. I've never even heard of it. I have heard of it. The name sounds familiar, but I've never seen it. So
okay, I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that. Okay, you're gonna regret it. I know you are. I know you're gonna fucking hate it.
If I like the Lighthouse and
I don't know,
Lobster,
man. This is next level weird.
I
can't wait. No, we're gonna do it. I'm holding you to it. Kobe One, you got to help me hold Dave to this. It's gonna be really great. I want Dave's review because I'm not gonna let him use his cell phone. If Dave pulls out his cell phone, I'm just whacking it right out of his hands, dude. It's gonna get violent.
Chloe one's gonna hold my hands down, and you're gonna hold my eyes open and be like, I'm guys, I'm watching it. Stop.
It's gonna be a Clockwork Orange up in this bitch.
Oh my god.
Yes, we should live stream Dave watching Inland Empire. Actually, that would be really funny. I won't show the movie, but it's just a stream of Dave sitting on my couch, seeing how long he pays attention for. That sounds good.
Oh, I'll pay attention for the whole thing. You'll see my face just.
It's not gonna be happy about it. It's a trip, dude. But anyway,
oh my god, can we program a live David meter? That'd be hilarious.
Yes, we can. We absolutely can. Oh, dude. Okay, this is gonna be great. When you come out next month, we have a lot of stuff to do.
Yes,
it's gonna be really fun. But that's it for me. That's all the news I got. So,
yep, I'm good. Let's move on.
Let's move on to treacherous territory. We're talking about a couple horror movies. We're talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is a new one that came out in 2023. And we're also talking about The Exorcist from 1973, which Dave had never seen. Both of these, I want to be very clear to everyone watching, were Dave's choice. I agreed with them, but Dave suggested both of these, and I was like, okay, let's do it. He's never seen The Exorcist, and I was like, let's do this, because I have my thoughts on that movie. But I also was morbidly interested to see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So we're getting into it, dude. We're getting into this movie. So if we have it, Jordan, if you're ready, we have the trailer. This is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. No, Spielberg sort of directed Poltergeist.
Why am I so special?
Because soon will be Christopher.
I want to make this clear as this is playing. I regret nothing.
We're not going to find them.
Oh, do you?
Pooh, Piglet,
I regret nothing.
Eeyore, we were friends for many years.
You knew I was gonna be pissed.
They're out there.
That's why I regret nothing.
Dave fucking trolled the shit out of me with this one.
We need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happening here, okay?
Yes, it does, Chloe one. Well, actually, no, it's a new take. Mm-hmm. So I was fully into a new take of something like this. So no is the answer. But I regret this take.
This place is kind of cold.
Truffle, I'm a little concerned if you loved this movie.
I have so many thoughts on it.
We need to go. There's Laura's dead. There's someone else outside.
Yes, Chloe one.
What was that?
Yes.
John, what's up, buddy?
Yo, John, dude.
Just in time.
Nope.
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear.
Chloe won. Oh no.
So this movie bothered me. This is a fucking lot. So Dave, can you tell us the story of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Okay, great. So before I do, I would like to touch on Truffle Cream saying all this stuff about this movie, and
can you repeat this because it's off this? So it's off stream.
Okay, so here's what Truffle says. It says. Yeah. It was delightful, interactive, and conceptual, yet introspective and derivative.
No.
May I suggest therapy?
I have so many fucking thoughts on this movie.
Okay, so here's what happens. Okay, here's what this is about. Yes. Everyone knows the OG story of Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
But this is Christopher Robin's grew up and had to go to college, and he left his friends, and they didn't know what to do with themselves. And then Eeyore died, and everybody fucking snaps. Everybody fucking snaps, and they just start murdering people. I would say, before I go too far, the craziest part of this is the fact that Piglet grew like 19 feet.
Dude, okay.
Also, where's Tigger?
We're gonna get into. Oh yeah, they don't even mention Tigger. Not in the opening. Not in like anything. He just doesn't exist in this universe. So, Dave, what was your briefly, of course?
Oh, it's legitimately the people. It's legitimately the characters and the Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, the actual animals they just don't speak anymore because they're traumatized by Eeyore's death.
Yeah, they are technically psychopaths in masks, but within the context of this film, they are actually Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and that's all we see. But Dave, what was your first impression of this movie that you made me watch?
My first impression was, oh no, what have I done?
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, what have I done? The acting immediately is fucking horrible.
It's bad.
It's so bad. Like, it's bad. Awful. And I'm immediately, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's okay. So my first impression was why, was why, and I don't know if I dislike this movie so much. But yeah, so John has got the hookup. Like, all the stuff on Poltergeist is really great. We actually do have an episode coming up in a couple weeks on Poltergeist, and it's a fun episode. So definitely check that out. But this movie. So let's hop in to our likes, because there were some things I did like about this movie. I have to be honest with you.
Okay, me too.
I thought it starts out with this kind of stylized animation. It feels kind of like a YouTube video, but I was fine with it because there's like a voiceover guy's like, "Whoa, Papa, he's an Englishman. He's talking about the stuff in the book," and then we get this stylized animation that tells the story of Christopher Robin and these characters. And he goes off to college, but the characters get angry and cold and hungry, and so they decide to devour Eeyore. They cannibalize Eeyore, and they decide they hate humans and they will never talk again. And I was like, it's dumb, but whatever. Okay, fine. It's a horror movie. Fine. I'm fine enough with that. And then it starts.
It is bad off the bat.
Like literally, Christopher Robin and his fiance, they're like, is out of college. He's like, let me show you these characters. Let me show my friends. They're in the woods. And his fiance is like, okay,
sure,
crazy.
I love you, but sure.
Which also, she's like, you're crazy. Like, this is crazy. Your imagination has run wild. But you're cool still. I love you. He's like, they're so real. She's like, I bet they were so real. And then they find this like house in the woods, and they also find outside of this house, there's a headstone that says Eeyore RIP.
Oh my God, I missed that.
I saw that and I was like, because I thought they were going to take more of the horror comedy route with this, which would have been fine. I would have enjoyed this movie. I would have actually enjoyed this movie if they would have went the horror comedy route with it, but they did not. But still in our likes here, I thought that was funny. I thought that was hilarious. I think this, somebody cared about this movie. This isn't like somebody, this isn't like, it's not good, but this is something that somebody spent money on. Not enough money, to be very clear. Not enough money, but somebody spent real money on it. There's real lighting. There's some set design. I liked that. About it. I think the lighting was good. I don't think the cinematography was great, but it did have its moments. Yes, I think. But I think all the acting was not good.
No, acting was terrible. It did have its moments. I just want to say real quick, it had been in this movie, it could have been really fucking scary.
I disagree. Well, I don't know. Go on.
Because remember how Tigger's got that laugh?
Yeah, I think it would have been. This is, to be very clear, this is lowest common denominator horror.
I mean,
this
yeah,
is,
but I just
this is not great in terms of horror, and maybe
I know
it could have been. You're right. There could have been good things about this. It had potential. You are very
That's what
right.
I'm saying. If you think about Tigger in this movie and think about his laugh, which I can't remember exactly. I think it's like hoo-hoo-hoo, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But imagine that, but like demented now because they had to cannibalize their friend.
Echoing off the forest trees.
Yeah, just like a creepy laugh. And like...
I'd be like, get me out of here, dog.
That's what I'm saying. It's scary.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of the things that I liked is how I was like, okay, you know, this is going to be a horror movie or whatever. And then the first kill happened. I was like, Jesus Christ, they are going in on this movie. And then it just gets so brutal. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll give you an A for the brutality.
I almost disagree because I think the brutality of it was also very like cut and paste. So if the kills had more to do with like honey or something, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
It would have been
really
hilarious because like think about it. Like the kills are, well, you say they're brutal. I feel like I've seen all these things before. If the kills were like funny, that would have been great. Well, okay, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of things that are funny. There's somebody's head gets run over by a car tire and her eye
That's
pops
hilarious.
out. And I was like, oh, okay. And then also Christopher Robin, he gets chained up and he's being whipped with Eeyore's tail. I don't know if you picked that up.
I did. That was so funny.
I laughed.
That was so funny.
I laughed a lot. But it didn't feel like it was, I don't know. But my thing is like, Pooh should be killing people. Pooh's like killing people with like sledgehammers and stuff. He could be killing people in like various honey-based ways. Like the long game, they could have like covered them in honey and let the birds pick them apart or something, or like drowning them in honey, or like, I don't know, giving them like type 2 diabetes with honey. There's a multitude of ways you could harm somebody with honey. And this film explored none of them. It just took the man with essentially a mask with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, basically.
People. Yeah.
And like, just to be clear, I'm not saying that it was original.
No, I don't even think it was brutal. It didn't. It was shot okay enough to where I was like, there's a couple times I was like, oh. But
okay,
I don't know.
Listen, you can't say it's not brutal when they literally put a girl head first into a wood chipper.
Fair. That's okay. That's a fair point. It's fair.
That's where I was like, Jesus Christ.
You're right. It is brutal. It is brutal. But the effect of all of this was lost on me because all I could see was dudes in masks, like just like lumber. Okay. So bad. Can we talk about this for just 1 second?
Yes.
Like, because the characters in the world of this movie, the characters, they are like starving to death, you know, and we don't see that, by the way. We just see that in like the animation. They're starving to death, and because Christopher Robin goes to college, and then all of a sudden we get back to them. It's been 4-5 years maybe. They show them in the animation as like the animals, but now they're starving to death. But 5 years later, they're like jacked lumberjack dudes who've built an entire house. They learned how to build a house and use weapons and kill people, but they couldn't have just like walked into a store like to steal food, ask for help, anything.
I mean,
I don't know. Obviously, this is nitpicking a fucking Winnie the Pooh horror movie. That fact is not lost on me, but it's like everything is broken from the beginning. It's like none of this, like, sell us on the mask thing. We know it's guys in masks. We know that. But sell us on it. Yeah. Why? Why? I don't know. That blew my fucking mind.
I think that this movie, it could, just like almost anything, it could have been done right.
Sure.
Could have been done right.
I agree.
I think if it was like, okay, here we go. Brain, gears turning. Gears going.
Hit me.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Christopher Robin as a kid lives next to a like a psych ward and like for children. Wait, listen.
This is already
Psych ward
tropey
for
as
children.
shit.
Wait. and Pooh and Tigger and Eeyore and all those kids are they're all just kids in masks, right? It's not actual animals, kids wearing their masks.
Yeah.
And he grows up and is normal, and then they get left behind, and not only that, but like they like turn on and kill their their like doctor or whoever.
Make them actually people in masks. Okay, yeah, that makes more it does make more sense. Like the psych ward children thing, it's a little tropey, but it does make more sense than this movie, because you could be like, oh, their favorite books were the Winnie the Pooh books, and that's what they were all together, and everybody had their thing, and so then they all come together, like they all like get abandoned, so they turn into their murderous versions of their characters. Yes. Christopher Robin, he's right. So he left the psych ward. He was Tigger. And so he comes back and he's like faced with these people who try to kill him, but something inside him just snaps and he turns into Tigger. And he goes after them.
I went a different direction. He was not Tigger because that's not how it happened in the books. But
I don't care.
Direction,
this isn't the book.
Wait, hang on. Let's spitball. We're spitballing. Okay.
Okay. Bring it.
So he is just a normal kid, not in the psych ward. He just lives next to it, which is funny to me.
Plays with them while they have recess or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And all of them are there. All the Tigger and Pooh and Piglet and Eeyore, they're all there. And then he leaves, and we see them like murdering people. And the big like climax is he comes back to show his fiance his friends, because he as a kid really thought they were real and didn't realize it was psych ward. And when he comes back, he realizes, oh fuck, they were just people in masks the whole time. Too late, your fiance's dead. And then he has to kill all of them, and that's the ending of that movie.
Also, because the fiance is killed immediately. Christopher Robin just stands there. No, stop it! Hey, quit it! Stop! Quit it, please stop it! Stop!
Right.
And I was like, I thought you loved her. I thought this was your fiance. You're not gonna like jump on Pooh Bear or Piglet or whoever was killing her. They both look the same, essentially. But I was like, it was crazy. And then there was that scene where early on, again, I don't. By the way, I don't care if I spoil this movie.
We're long past it.
Don't see it, but you're wasting your time. But there's that scene where he's like confronted by Pooh and Piglet on each side. I was like, if I would have known, I would have never left college. That was the only line they wrote for him. Yep. But that scene goes on for like 2 minutes. So he's like, I didn't know. I would have never left college. And I was like, give him something to say. Give this guy something to say. For the love of God, give him something to say. It went on
so
forever.
What did I say here? So the line is, if I'd have known, I would have never left for college. Okay, cool. After the first take, it's like, okay, so I noticed it went on a little long. Should I say something else? No.
he says, if I would have known, I would have never left for college. And the director's like, quit blowing your load so early. Stretch the line out. Stretch that line out for a whole 2 minutes.
Oh.
Like, bro.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Icky.
Really? How did Tigger get what?
Because if the character wasn't created until like later or introduced into the books later, then the date of public domain is later.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So say Tigger wasn't introduced until 2 years after the original 100 Acre Woods gang. His that copyright and stuff wouldn't expire for another couple of years, but that actually makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. This can I also say, I know we dunk on Rob Zombie a lot on this because he's like a deeply inconsistent director. Some of this felt like a Rob Zombie film.
It very much did. It very much did.
Specifically, too, I just want to be clear. Like, some of the cinematography in this is good. Whoever was lighting this thing did a really great job. But there's a couple segments where I was like, "This is filmed for somebody's YouTube channel."
Oh, for sure.
That I was like, "This is not good looking at all. It looks like the Munsters."
God, there was a scene. Oh, okay. Listen. I know Truffle already said he enjoyed the hot tub chick, and I knew that. I knew he was going to say that, but I just knew.
You have a read
Alex,
on our
I know you well
audience.
enough, dude. As soon as it come up, as soon as I saw you said I was like, yep. But what I don't understand about that scene is she takes the selfie, and in behind the selfie is fucking Pooh Bear in the distance. Satanic Pooh Bear, and she zooms in on it and sees, at the very least, some dude with a mask. Not only does she make the white person in a horror movie mistake and go and inspect it, when she doesn't find anything after just literally doing this, she's like, fuck it, I don't care, and goes back to the hot tub.
Dude.
Go inside.
Dude. Also, I want to be clear. I don't remember any of these people's names other than Christopher Robin.
Oh, they had names?
They had names because I know they had names because they call each other names. But to be clear, one of the girls, they start calling them Pooh and Piglet. How do they know their names?
Wait, what?
Yes. She's like, "Oh, Piglet is doing this." And I was like, how the fuck do you know what their names are?
How did I miss that?
It was very confusing because I rewound it to make sure I wasn't like tripping out.
Interesting.
Like,
I did not catch that at all.
Because to be clear, there's another storyline here. Essentially, after Christopher Robin gets abducted, they show in animation that he gets pulled back into the woods, and in the animation he's thrown in a pit and set on fire, but then they cut to him just like chained up, not on fire, which was weird. But essentially this girl who was getting stalked and trying to get over the trauma of getting stalked, her therapist recommends that she and her friends take a little vacation. They rent a cabin in the 100-acre woods and they just chill. They just relax, like rent an Airbnb, get a little drunk and enjoy themselves. So they do that. And that's when Pooh and Piglet attack and kill them. The one girl doesn't even make it to the Airbnb because she gets thrown in a fucking wood chipper.
She gets lost.
Before she even gets there.
Head first, and her legs are still kicking the whole time.
Yeah, and that's the conceit of this thing. So it's just a very paint by numbers slasher film, you know? And so the thing is, they free Christopher Robin, and then he all of a sudden like cares about these girls. Like he has like an emotional connection to them because one of them gets killed at the end, and he's like, "No, why?" And I was like, "You don't even know her. I'm sorry. No offense."
Yeah, no,
you don't know her.
Literally,
Run.
like, what are you talking about? Just
run
go
away. Yeah, it's so weird.
Also, yeah, Icky, you make a point here that I thought of. As soon as they ripped that girl's top off, I was like, "Oh, it's that kind of movie." And then that was the only time they did that. I'm like, wait, why did you do that?
I literally, when that happened, I was like, fuck you, Dave. This is going to turn into a softcore porn. I know it is now. I
legit
know
thought,
it is.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is going to be a porno. And
Dave
I even thought even worse when... No, I thought it was going to be even worse when two of the girls they introduced were in a relationship together. I was like, we're going to watch them fuck. And then that's when Pooh and Piglet are going to come and attack them mid-sex.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I thought the same thing too. I was like, I was like, man, this is a bad setup. And I don't know if to their credit, they don't do that, but like it's still lowest common denominator.
Yeah,
men in masks running around killing women. So
pretty much.
But you know what I really like about this movie though, the fact that when it just ends, there's a scene and then Christopher Robin runs away and then roll credits. Nothing is resolved. There's no fucking arc. The movie just stops. It just stops.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious how it just stops.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. It's not even so I think we can move along because I fucking hate this movie and I don't know if I want to talk about it anymore necessarily. But for me, John, this is a skip it. It's not even a so bad it's good movie. I don't know how you feel about that, Dave.
I think this is a watch it with friends.
I disagree.
I think it's a watch it with friends.
Okay, I think you should skip it. I think it's not funny. If it was like really schlocky, like really schlocky and really like bad or funny or even entertaining, it just kind of revels in like badness for sure. I don't know. It's a major skip it for me. I don't think it has anything to offer, and it definitely doesn't have a good time to offer, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it's a see it with friends. It's to me. This is the same kind of bad as Zombie Strippers.
I've yet to see Zombie Strippers. Hey, Hawk rules.
Hey, Wendy.
Oh, we're about to get into your favorite movie ever.
Uh oh. Yeah. Just to put a point on it, Blake says skip it. I say skip it unless you're with friends and you're high or drunk and you wanna have a good time.
Yeah, and I wrote a lot. I had a lot of things going on in my head when I was watching this. A lot of bad words aimed in your direction because, man, it just, I don't know. Not that I had high hopes for this thing, but like you also had an opportunity to like turn this thing on its head or make this film even be like about something. And it's a corny idea, but there's a chance to elevate it in a sort of way. This is never going to be like an A24 film. I want to be clear, but there is a chance for this thing to have something to say. It said nothing and made no fucking sense. And it was just, I don't know.
I think I'm going to stick with my thing. I think if they, obviously not these filmmakers, but I think if there was filmmakers who made it so that the story was that Christopher Robin had to kill these people, these friends of his, then I think it could have been something because that's like you have to get over your childhood. There is
a good version of this movie out there. I think you're absolutely right. I also want to point out that this film was also edited by the writer and director. And it shows.
For real?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I didn't know that.
The editing's really bad. It's not bad all the way through, but there's a couple spots where I'm like, what? What is happening?
Yeah,
it's a bonkers movie.
It is a bonkers movie,
Skip.
And that's why you should see it with friends.
Yeah, if you want to see it with friends, fine. I don't think it's worth it. I don't really. Maybe I could see it being fun with friends, but it's just, I don't know, man. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't. There's many other fun bad movies to watch besides this.
That's true.
Don't encourage this. Do not encourage this.
Too late. Too late.
But we are moving on from this and diving deep in the recesses of horror history, circa, I don't know, 50-ish years ago. And we're talking about a movie that really, truly broke the barrier for a lot of horror films. We're talking about The Exorcist from 1973. It is a movie that Dave had never seen, and Dave was like, hey, I've never seen this. We should talk about this. And I was like, dude, great. I haven't seen The Exorcist in a while. I'm excited to revisit it. And we'll get to my thoughts on that later. But first, we have a classic trailer that we're all going to watch. I'm interested what this trailer is going to be, honestly.
Yeah, me too, a little bit.
Like, yeah.
Apparently just... Oh, there we go.
Somewhere between science and superstition.
No.
There is another world. The world.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Nobody
Freeze frame. Love it.
Nobody believed it. And nothing could stop it.
There are no experts.
This is fun.
Is it? Are you sure?
I'm having fun with this trailer.
upstairs is my daughter. Now I want you to tell me that you know for a fact that there's nothing wrong with my daughter except in her mind. You tell me you know for a fact that an exorcism wouldn't do any good. You tell me that!
Yeah, Ellen Burstyn giving her all, man.
The one
Yo, that's
hope,
good.
the only hope,
That was pretty cool.
the Exorcist.
I too am sold. Let's watch this movie. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure you just recently watched this, Hawk Rules. Yeah. So this is a very interesting film because yes, William Peter Blatty. This movie is based off a book by William Peter Blatty, who also wrote the script for it, which is great. It's very interesting because this doesn't always happen. I think Gillian Flynn did this with Gone Girl as well. David Fincher had her adapt her own book into the script, which is interesting. So the writer of the book is very involved in this movie, although disagreed with director William Friedkin, who is a piece of shit.
Yes.
The man is not
Yes,
a
he
good
is.
human
No.
at all. But so Dave, this is the first time you've seen The Exorcist. Tell us the story of The Exorcist.
Okay, so here's the story. There's some stuff in the Middle East in the beginning that is related somehow. I must have missed that part.
It's Indiana Jones and the Origins of Evil.
And after we see this stuff in the Middle East to show the devil is real, we're somehow just not in the Middle East anymore.
We're in Georgetown.
Georgetown. And a young girl gets possessed by apparently the devil himself. Itself. And everyone at first is like, oh no, it's nothing, sure. And then we also get this one priest who has fallen out of or I guess not fallen out. He's lost his faith. There we go. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And he has to help with this exorcism that has to happen because she is not being helped by medicine, and she's getting pretty fucking possessed here. So
the whole thing is a battle to release the demons and or devil from this little girl named Regan, who is the daughter of acclaimed film actress somebody played by Ellen Burstyn, who is also in her own right an acclaimed film actress. Yo, Gina, what's up? Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Feel free to rewatch it though, because we had lots to say. It's bad.
A lot.
It's real bad. Okay, so I was introduced to a lot of horror movies growing up pretty early on. This was not one of them. My mom is not into like possession movies. It scares the shit out of her. And so I didn't see this until I was probably in high school when I rented it from the library on my own. I was like, I'm gonna watch this shit. People say it's the scariest movie ever made ever. And if you watch, you can see on YouTube and stuff. At the time, I can see why they thought this. You can see on YouTube some of the reactions when they leave the theater. People were fainting, and it was a whole big deal, dude. This film was very successful and very popular, and it has aged, I would say, in the last 50 years.
That is a way to explain it.
So I want to know, seeing this as this is in the year 2023, this is the first time you've ever seen The Exorcist. What was your first impression?
Okay. Here's my first impression of The Exorcist for the first time seeing it at 34 years old in 2023.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? At no point was this movie scary. At no point was this movie at all scary.
This movie has an air of eeriness, but this film kicked off a lot of things. We've been inundated with a bunch of media that essentially does the exorcism thing, the possession thing. Wasn't really much of a horror trope before this. At least wasn't a popular horror trope before this movie. So people at the time, if we're talking context, had never seen anything like this shit ever. And obviously some of the language used in this film is still gross. And
some of the language is like, especially for the 70s.
Like edgy kids like on the internet say shit like this, and it just it was very alarming. And I think I'm almost certain we watched the full version because it has some like the spider walk thing was in it, which I know was added back in later to this film. But this is a lot, but it is a classic. I don't particularly love this film.
No, I didn't like it at all.
Okay, I like a lot of things about this film. I like a lot of things about this film. I do not love this film.
To be clear, I liked a lot of things about it. I did not like the film.
I don't blame you. You know, I don't blame you. I'm not going to give you shit about that at all. But if we're starting with our likes here, give me some stuff that you really liked about this movie.
I did like some of the I don't want to say effect, I guess the practical effects, like the makeup on the little girl Reagan or whatever when she's been possessed looked pretty great.
It looks good.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
I think that they sold that pretty well. I like the bed floating. I like the spider walk. I liked a lot of those things in the film.
And John, no, absolutely. Friedkin is a piece of shit. Friedkin sucks, dude. For sure. I mean, say what you want about his directing, because he also directed like The French Connection and stuff, which are great films. He's directed great films, but man, the guy is such a garbage human being.
He is very bad, yes.
No, I agree with you. Like, the effects are great. I don't want to say great. I think they
were good for the time.
Of them hold up. I think they're great for the time. I think they hold up. A lot of them hold up. Oh no! Okay,
that's hilarious.
So for a little context too, my grandmother, she'll see a bunch of. She's the one who took me to see the Power Rangers when I was 5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love my grandmother. Super great lady. She's into a lot of stuff. My grandfather was a pretty, I'd say, relatively religious person. Not into this.
Oh no.
Not into this shit at all.
I would like to point out that I'm fairly certain that in the 70s, I'm pretty sure that's when the Satanic Panic was really starting to kick off.
The 80s was the big time for the Satanic Panic. So this was a little bit beforehand.
Because this was 76?
No, 73.
73. Oh, okay. Never mind. But I mean, obviously, the Satanic Panic in general was in the 80s. But obviously, people were still freaked out about it, and I think that's the only reason why this movie was scary at all to anybody at any point ever.
No, I disagree with you. I absolutely disagree with you, because things like this, like exorcism kind of things, especially the world was a little more religious, 50 plus years ago, and so people had a lot of these big held beliefs, and you never know when the devil is gonna possess your fucking kids, or your kids are just gonna start walking like spiders backwards down the steps and pissing themselves. You don't know. Kids be crazy after all. So I see why it was unnerving. I don't think, like, a lot of that, the things that really don't hold up for me are like the weird language stuff. As somebody who has the mouth of a sailor, I know I do. But like some of the stuff, I was like, come on, like I don't know. It just felt lame. It just felt lame. But I really like a lot of the music in this, like the theme song, the Tubular Bells theme song.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I think that's cool. It's spooky.
Yeah, it is spooky. Yeah, it was okay. But I think my favorite part was how well, before I say this, I would tiny little complaint to get into my favorite part here.
No, that's fair.
Is the fact that this movie's pace was awful.
Really?
It was fucking awful, because it was just nothing happening, talking. Exorcism! Breaking the exorcism. We're all just we're just gonna take a break. Everyone take a quick breather, devil included. So let's just take a second. Everybody's cool. Even the devil's like, you guys are wearing me out. Just take a breather real quick.
Hell, it's hot, but you guys
exorcism again, and then talking.
I disagree with you, but so that was a setup to your point of something you liked.
I really enjoyed the break that they had in the middle of the exorcism. I really thought that was fantastic. It was so good. They're like, the power of Christ compels you. And the devil's like, a little bit, actually.
I mean, now we're talking about it. Yeah, I guess so.
Some water? Anybody? I'm just quick breath. You guys want to? Let's just truce for like 5 minutes. It's like the truce you have with your brothers when you're a kid and you're all like wrestling. And wait, hang on, time out, truce. Give me 1 second.
Water break.
Gotta hydrate. And then finally, like, okay, now I'm gonna get you.
Well, you know what's funny is like I think the pace of this thing is what I liked about it, because I think without the pace of this, I think this film would feel really fucking lame today, because I think it
did
eases.
Feel fucking lame today.
Well, I understand that.
It felt fucking lame.
Parts of this definitely feel lame today. 100%. I agree with you on that. But I think some of the things I actually liked about this movie are those like slow intro and the slow little things, because Reagan is like, oh, I found this Ouija board. By the way, I want to backtrack to like the Middle Eastern stuff that basically they it's implied that like they've like released this thing. You know, they've they've unburied this thing and like released it into the ether. And then Reagan contacts it through like a Ouija board she found in a closet of this house that they're living in Georgetown. And she calls this thing Captain Howdy. And I was like, it's you're laughing. It's kind of spooky because it's like kids come up with like funny like little names for something, but it's like it's the devil. It's like
it's the actual devil.
He tells you this, and I don't know, like some of that pace and like the little planchette from the Ouija board, like just like zipping little things like that. They also showed the flame like burst from her candle up in the attic. Little touches like that I think were interesting and spooky. There's little flash frames of like a demon face. Those kind of worked for me still as well, because I like that slower kind of pace, because we get into the world of Ellen Burstyn's character. She's a famous actress, and like something's wrong with her kid. Her kid's acting like a dickhead, and she can't figure out why. And so they take her to the doctor, and the doctor's smoking cigarettes. He's chiefing on Marlboro Reds unfiltered.
Right.
Like, yeah. Well, give her some pills. And she's like, well, don't you think we should like, I don't know, seek therapy? He's like, nah, that shit doesn't work. Give her some Ritalin. And she's like, what? Is that? Right. He's like, yeah, it's a stimulant. She goes, a stimulant? He goes, just shut up. We don't know how it works. Just give it to her. It'll be fine. She goes, we really shouldn't see anybody or talk to anybody? He goes, no. Absolutely not. Talking to people's for fucking losers and crybabies.
Well, okay. Here, I guess now that you're talking about it, I want to clarify what I mean by the pace sucked. Is that usually in these kinds of movies, you're supposed to have a really slow pace until it just ramps up exponentially.
Okay.
But this felt like it was not a ramp up, an exponential ramp up. It felt like a 90-degree angle.
Well,
it's like nothing is happening, and all of a sudden she's just fucking possessed.
I understand, but I also disagree, because I like those like those little breaks where like things are happening and like they're kind of weird, then they're kind of subsiding a little bit and they're kind of coming back until it goes full tilt crazy, and then I know you're like, oh, we have a break from The Exorcist, but you know, it's implied she kills the like director of the movie or whoever and stuff, and then Father Karras, like his arc in this is the most compelling, because I don't really care about like I'm sorry, Reagan's a little kid and stuff, she can't help, but the most compelling thing is like Father Karras and all his guilt, and he's lost his faith, and his mother died like scared and alone, and like the devil is talking, like his mother is talking through Reagan to him.
Yes.
Like, oh, why'd you do this to me? Dim, you left me all alone. And I'm like, it feels so bad and sad. And it's like disturbing. But I also like that part where they're trying to be like, you know, where's Reagan? Like, she's in here with us. And I was like, oh, that's spooky. There's some spooky stuff in there. But I think the pace of this, I think it really does work for it. It's not standard. I disagree,
man.
But to John's point as well, if The Exorcist were made today, yeah, it would be a James Wan movie, and it would be like a a carnival ride. And like, I don't think this film would benefit from that, because I don't want to get into this too early, but I have stuff to talk about later about other exorcism movies and the blight of exorcist movies that we've gotten since. But I don't love this film. To be very clear, I do not love The Exorcist. It doesn't really stick with me. It's not something I really, but I really enjoy things about it. It gets silly very quickly.
Yes, it does.
Like once we get, like, I don't have another adjective to describe it other than just silly.
It's so yes, it gets super silly. So like, especially like you touched on before, some of the language that she says is fucking ridiculous.
It's just like shitty internet edgelord like lingo, you know. Like, come on. Tarantino Exorcist. That'd be fun. That would be fun. I would watch that, actually.
John, it's funny you mentioned the Conjuring.
Yeah, because we're talking, like I said, we're talking about Poltergeist in an episode. We're also talking about Poltergeist versus the original Conjuring, the James Wan Conjuring, which I got a lot to say about that movie. It just, because they feel like now they're so, like, exorcism movies like this, I think, are unique because, you know, it kind of, they go through the process and we get all the big existential things that go along with it. Now it's just a spooky thing where, you know, it's a kid or somebody, their eyes go white or their eyes go black and they talk in a different language and they say, you know, your mother sucks cocks in hell or something. It's like, it's that kind of stuff where it's like, we get it. We know it's so tropey now that it's not going to hit. It's not going to hit anymore.
I would love to see an Exorcist type movie, a possession type movie.
Yeah.
From the possessed's point of view.
That would I think that would be interesting because you have to do something new. They're cranking out exorcism possession movies all the time still, and they're all the same movie. And nobody's had a good new idea about them in forever. And they're so boring. They're so boring. They all the same things happen in them.
I realized there's already kind of been a movie from the possessed point of view.
What's that?
Idle Hands.
I've never seen it.
I've seen a movie you haven't?
I don't even know what this is. What year? What are we talking about? I guarantee you've seen plenty of movies I've never seen.
1999.
I have no idea what this is.
It's a horror comedy. It's got Seth Green. It's got Seth Green, Jessica Alba, Vivica A. Fox.
This is a stacked cast.
Yes, Devon Sawa.
Devon.
No shit. I don't care. Fred Willard is in it.
No shit.
Yes. Tom DeLonge is actually in this movie, and the entire Offspring plays in this movie. Mindy Sterling. Who else? Who else is that I know you'll know? Kyle Glass. Kyle Glass is in this movie. Joey Slotnick. Nicholas Sadler.
Oh,
okay. So it's stacked as fuck. Oh my God, Eldon Henson is in this. I forgot he's in this.
Who's that?
Eldon Henson is Fulton. From the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Okay. That's cool.
Okay, so when slacker teen Anton Tobias, by Devon Sawa, has his right hand possessed by a demonic force, he finds that his life gets a lot more interesting. When Anton himself is an amiable guy, his hand proves to be the appendage of death, killing his two best buddies, who return to life as wisecracking zombies. In addition to murdering those closest to him, Anton's evil hand significantly hinders his chances with his lovely neighbor Molly.
Oh God. I'd see it. I definitely see it. Oh no. Okay, John, we actually talked about this on a stream. We had our Halloween stream probably back around October near Halloween when I made Dave watch all three of the new David Gordon Green Halloween movies.
Yes,
we did talk about the new Exorcist coming out from David Gordon Green. God damn it. I'm actually sad that Ellen Burstyn is going to be reprising her role because I think it's going to be bad. I will see it. I don't know if I'm going to pay for it, but I'm going to see it. I don't know if I would encourage this, but I'll probably see it. But I think Ellen Burstyn is so good. She's such an incredible actress Like you've
Yes.
seen Requiem for a Dream, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays a mom. It's just heartbreaking performance. And dude, I think this is gonna be bad. And that's the thing.
Probably.
Can we talk about this just a little bit now, since we're already kind of getting into it? There's been a million Exorcism movies, almost all of them bad. But like they're shitting out a new Russell Crowe Exorcism movie called like the Pope's Exorcist or something stupid. It looks fucking terrible, dude. It looks absolutely terrible. We've had there was another one that came out late last year that I saw the trailer for, and it made like $40, but it was like a big I don't even remember the name of it because they all like have the same kind of name, the same trope. They all look the same. They're all like super desaturated. There's like a nun, especially thanks James Wan. We got the scary, shitty nun movie. It's like all that stuff is like it's all the same. It's all just like this rotunda of garbage.
Did you see The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Actually, I'm really glad you said that because I was going to ask you if you've seen any good Exorcism movies. I haven't seen it probably since it came out, but I really, really liked The Exorcism of Emily Rose when it came out, starring Jennifer Carpenter.
I was going to say. Yes, I don't know if it would hold up, but I remember thinking that one was great, especially the end of it.
Yes, that's the only one because isn't that is it Naomi Watts? Is that who's in that as well as the lawyer? Because it's a courtroom drama, which is what is so interesting about it.
Jennifer Carpenter. Oh my God, yes.
Is it Naomi Watts?
I didn't realize that she was in it.
Yes, because she's like the lawyer. It all takes place in a courtroom, and we have to we go back in flashbacks to see the stuff because we hear that Emily Rose has died, and this is a whole court case against the preacher who was involved in the exorcism. I thought it was a great movie when I saw it. Again, I don't even know what year that came out.
Is not in this.
Okay, who is in it? Who am I thinking of? Who is the
Okay. So Jennifer Carpenter, Laura Linney.
Laura Linney, yeah. Sorry.
Nobody else that I recognize.
Who played the preacher?
That's what made it cool.
Who played the preacher?
Tom Wilkinson.
Okay, I don't know.
Father Richard somebody, I don't know.
Okay.
But I do remember that one being really good.
Yeah, again, I don't know how it hold up, but I think it was really. But what made it good to me was we've seen all these things where it takes place in an old creepy church or whatever, and somebody gets possessed and blah 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 blah. We get it, but this is literally it's a courtroom movie, and then we get all these little things. We get to see all the interesting parts in flashback, but we also get to see Laura Linney's character trying to win this case to move up in the law firm, and she kind of buys into this whole thing. I think it's really interesting. It was a compelling film. I'd be interested to see it again, to see if it holds up.
I think I wouldn't mind actually watching that again. Oh shit! It's Jennifer Carpenter is the actual possessed. I forgot
she plays
about that.
Emily Rose. Yeah. Well,
Yes,
that's when I saw
crazy.
Dexter for the first time. I was like, yeah, it's the chick from Exorcism of Emily Rose.
I did not make that connection at all. I think she's really good at it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, it's been 15 plus years probably since I've seen it. What year was that movie?
2005.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds about right. But
yeah, and judging just by the this little clip that I'm hovering over, and not even necessarily the trailer, it looks like it still might hold up, dog.
I'd be interested in seeing it again. Not gonna lie.
I think we should. I think we should watch it soon. Because now I'm I kind of want to fucking watch this movie again.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down to talk about it. So John, I've seen. I think I've seen The Exorcist 2 and 3. Which one was was it Exorcist 3, the heretic? There was there's some spooky imagery from a couple of these, but they're not good films. Oh, the Paul Schrader one, because there's Paul Schrader did one. He wrote a bunch of stuff. He's also a great director, but he did an Exorcist movie that got totally revamped. Was it The Exorcist 4 or something? He totally did it, and then the studio recut it, and it turned out kind of bad or something. I don't recall.
Probably.
Okay, yeah, it was shot by Rennie Harlan. Okay. Oh,
Icky,
geez,
we're gonna
we've-
rewatch The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting to hop into. But yeah, dude, there's just so much weird stuff, and like honestly, revisiting The Exorcist was such a trip, but like not in a good way. It just, I don't know. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because I think there's a lot of things
no,
that
me
do
neither.
work, that do work about it, but it is overall just a silly ass movie.
It's
Like,
so goofy.
Once you get into it, it's just unrestrained, and I see why it was alarming at the time to see a child saying the C word all the time.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, what the part that gets me the most, and by that I mean in the way, is when Father, what's his face?
Karis or Marin?
Father Don't Care, the
old one?
No, the younger one.
Okay, Father Karis.
Father Karras, he's like, take me, and the devil's like, sure, why not?
All right.
And just pops out of fucking Reagan and pops right into him. He's like, gotcha, bitch, and fucking yeets himself out of the window.
Yeah, it is. I actually do like the ending, so I'm glad we're talking about that too, because it's a downbeat ass ending, and which I think is absolutely appropriate for a story like this.
Yeah, but also like, okay, you said you like the pace, and I'm going to go back to what I said about it being horrible because it ends with two people talking.
I'm fine with it, dude.
No.
I think this is a contemplative film in that way because it has a lot of big themes that it tries to explore.
Okay, but why were they like, we go see a movie? I've seen that one. How about this one? All right.
Well, it's this tactic, you know. I mean, whatever, you can not like it. That's fine. That's fair for you. I thought it was fine. So no, I want to dive into bodies because we should talk about that soon, Dave. Because I did get to see a director's like roundtable with the director of the film and like hear about her process a little bit. People hate that movie, but some people really like that movie, and so I really need to see it for myself.
Bad, right?
A number of people told me it was absolute garbage, but then a number of people have been like, "It's great. It's really, really great." So I feel like
anybody say it's great yet.
Oh, really? I've heard a lot of like film people say it's really great.
Interesting. How about we do that and Exorcism of Emily Rose next week?
Okay, if you guys are down for more horror stuff, I'm totally down to do that.
Fuck it.
That could be fun.
I mean, I think it'd be awesome.
Okay.
Because if I hate bodies, then you're basically getting me back for Pooh.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't say that I'd be actually getting you back or not. But
well, yeah. But also, I really think, speaking of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I think they need to retitle it to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and More Blood.
Blood and who gives a shit?
That is a fair point, sir.
So I do want to say though, like in terms of the production, there's a lot of like interesting, unique things that they did to make some of these things. I think some of the visuals worked, like some of the bed stuff and the early bed shaking stuff worked. It was pretty disturbing. But the first scene that made me laugh out loud is when the doctors come in and like Reagan's like, oh, like going like up and down on her bed. It looks so funny. He goes, stop, and I was it kind of made me laugh just because the reactions, the guys, the doctors are like holy shit, and they walk out and Ellen Burstyn's like, do you see what I mean? Like, this is crazy. What can you guys do? And they're like, it still might just be a brain thing. It's probably just a brain thing. And she's like, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, it's probably a brain thing. She's like, you saw her float. And they're like, brain fling? I don't know. Do you have any cigarettes?
Brain's a powerful thing, man. Oh, actually, yeah. Chloe won Idle Hands. I want to do that one more than I want to do Bodies.
I would rather talk about, I don't know if I've never heard of Idle Hands. I'm down to watch it, but I'd rather see something a little more current as well.
Okay, well then let's do Idle Hands and Bodies, because that actually might be a better match.
I again don't even know what Idle Hands is. Oh yeah, maybe if it's kind of more comedy based. Yeah, I'm down with
It's
that.
horror comedy. Yes, I think
great.
that's actually a really good match. So let's do
Boom.
that.
Horror comedy episode next week. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll have to get that on the Plex, Jordan, whenever you get a chance. Cool. I'm down for this. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, great. Cool.
But also, I know I've said it a bunch of times on this stream already, but how much of a piece of shit William Friedkin is as a director.
Yes.
He's arrogant. He's like the most arrogant director, dude, I've ever seen. So blatantly just like, I'm awesome and I know I'm awesome. And so he really he hurt a lot of his actors.
Yes, he did.
And like Ellen Burstyn, like almost broke her spine. There's a scene, you know, when she gets like whipped back from the bed and stuff and the thing comes like rushing towards her. They didn't tell her that they were going to yank her back, so she wasn't ready. They pulled her back and I don't know, fucked up like her vertebrae or something. So she screams, and like that look of like pain and horror on her face is a real reaction. He's like, "Oh, great," and she's like, "Cool, I'm mangled and I might never walk again, but glad you got your shot."
Jesus Christ.
You know
I know John said something earlier about how he slapped people in the face for real and shot off a gun, I guess.
Yeah, there's no fucking reason to do stuff like that.
No.
Especially, we're talking about this later, and it's all silly. All the stuff he added was silly and embarrassing.
Very dumb.
But, you know, and it's also sad, too, because, like, you can't talk shit about the directors and stuff on such a quote unquote classic movie. Now you can, but like I've seen interviews with Ellen Burstyn like the 90s when they did a new version of it for like DVDs. So there's like DVD extras and stuff. And Ellen Burstyn's like, "Oh yeah," they were asking her about all the awful stuff that happened to her on set. Go, "Oh yeah, you know, Billy, like William Friedkin, like he's such a talented director, and you know, he just knows how to get stuff out of people." You could tell she's just uncomfortable the whole time having to recount this horror story that she went through and be nice to this man who treated her like absolute trash. It's crazy, dude.
It's crazy when you can see them trying really hard just to be nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, so here's a question I have. I have never heard this man's name before because I've obviously was never into horror films, whatever.
Yeah.
What else has he done?
Well, this is the first time he's ever done a horror film. He's not like a horror director. So William Friedkin
shows
most notably because he had just like won a Academy Award for The French Connection, which is an incredible film. French Connection, also To Live and Die in L.A. The last thing he did, I think is he dead?
I don't know. Hopefully. I mean, what?
He might still be alive. But yeah, he those are pretty much his three big movies. Were this is probably his most well-known movie, but yeah, French Connection and To Live and Die in LA. So I don't know, man. It's just he sucks.
Yeah,
and
Icky brings up a good point. Isn't there a lot of horror stories about like the set and like fucking
a
stage
bit.
or whatever, that the stuff was getting like possessed and people were getting sick, and didn't some of the crew die?
Stuff like that, like some of that stuff did happen from what I recall. I know I've heard stories about it. I feel like more of that is like Poltergeist is a little more well known for that stuff, but yeah, there's some like spooky things that happen on set too of this movie as well.
Okay, now that you mention it, I do remember it being on the Poltergeist.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Poltergeist for sure. But this movie had it as well. Oh, John got a recommendation. He did do another horror movie called The Guardian. I've never seen it. So what? Let's see. What year did that come out? 1990. Okay.
Oh,
well, maybe I'll check it out.
Took him fucking 17 years, but all right.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think he's a bad director. It's just like, but it's like people like him and like Kubrick was notorious for treating his actors like shit, dude. It's like, you can't get away with that today, and you shouldn't be able to get away with it. I don't think you have to treat people like crap to get good performances out of them, you know?
No,
So.
No, I mean, but here's the thing. I know that there are some actors who will tell you as a scene partner in the moment, right as they're like rolling, okay, actually hit me though.
Well, listen, if it's consensual or whatever, if you have those conversations, sure. But if you're just showing up on set and you say action and you fire a fucking gun,
yes,
no, like don't do that. What kind of crazy shit? Like, it's wild what people could get away with back in the day. It's absolute garbage.
Yeah. It's 100% garbage, and it's great that they don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to deal with that anymore as a as an actor or whatever. But still, like, don't every
Yeah. Sorry, you broke up there. What'd you say?
I said, why was that ever even a good idea?
Oh, because when you can get away with that stuff, it's quick and to the point. Instead of like communicating what you want and like rehearsing, you can just abuse people and get what you want really quick. Apparently.
Wait, what's the horsehead story we heard about The Godfather?
So when Hawk Rules is out here a number of years ago, we did this like spooky Paramount like tour around like the Paramount lot and stuff we talked a lot about The Godfather and but here's the thing. We heard a lot of stories and I was very interested about these like kind of spooky stories and things that would happen, around like the set of The Godfather and some of the mafia people like were there. A lot of those stories that the Paramount people told us are not true. are like, they're like played up kind of like, here's a spooky thing or something crazy that happened, but there's no like actual evidence of these things actually happening ever. But rumors and stories that have been told throughout the years that people like to repeat because they're interesting stories. Absolutely. But I was a little disappointed when I dove into them to find like a lot of that stuff was bullshit. I was like, oh, why would you lie to me, Paramount? Thought we had a good thing going.
You mean to tell me the company that makes fiction made up a lie?
I know. Who'd have thought? Who would have thought, Dave?
Can't believe it.
Crazy world we live in.
Shooketh. I am shooketh.
Have you seen any like exorcism movies that like are really, really bad that you like really hate? Anything that you can like remember off the top of your head?
No. This one it ranks. I didn't hate it. But it ranks.
Yeah.
Like it ranks for sure as one of the worst. But honestly, I don't know why nobody's been able to do it right, except for potentially Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there is necessarily. I guess some of these things. Obviously the people go see these movies. They make fucking 8 of them a year. So they're hitting for some people, but I do feel like we're really in the lowest common denominator era of it. Where it's just like, whatever, you throw in an old church with like stone walls, a couple upside down crosses, and somebody whose like eyes turn white, and whoa, they start speaking Aramaic or Latin or something, and boom.
It's literally, they're making these movies because there's so many, religious people, and religious people's biggest fear is the devil. So that's the scariest thing. And I understand that, but I think that there are actually scarier, real world things that we should be focusing on in horror movies.
Yeah, like the sun. I mean, every time I go out there, I turn into a lobster. It's hard, man. Make a movie about the sun and how fucking scary it is. I'd see it.
I mean,
talking about tapping into some of our fears, man. I'm just saying.
I think that there's plenty of different. Oh no, we just lived 4 years of that. I don't want to like have a movie about it too.
Is there a horror movie about the IRS?
I would like to. Yeah, Wendy, you missed one.
You missed one.
You missed one. I would like to see a movie about a trigger happy police officer in terms of speeding tickets.
Not speaking from personal.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Definitely
That
not.
checks out for me.
Not.
Yeah, there's a lot to dive into, and I think we're past the spooky possession stuff. Give me like some real ass like horror of like things we're experiencing in this. Like, move on, please.
Yes, stop it. Honestly,
Stop
I
it.
agree 100%. Big time, stop it, and go with stuff that's actually scary, like that's like people have actually experienced.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I also think we're past the point of like slasher killer people, because like, we're past it. We're not scared of that anymore because everybody's a slasher killer. So give me something more existential. That's why I think A24 horror films have struck a nerve with people, because they are they can be slow, methodical, and just horrifying on a pretty deep level. Thematically, you don't need a masked killer running around in the woods with the chainsaw anymore.
Right. No, and that's what I'm saying. Those are done for, in my opinion.
I agree.
Possession movies are done for. We got to move on to the next thing. And what's the scariest thing to our generation or Gen Z? And I guess maybe we should, have a movie about never being able to afford a house. I don't know.
It's true. A movie about our school loans. We're 88 years old, and the government is coming. They're coming to get the last of the school loans before you fucking die.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
You paid $250,000 for your psychology degree, and we're coming for you, motherfucker. We're gonna repossess your liver.
Oh man,
there's so much. There's so much going on. Specifically that.
What the fuck?
Eat shit, Dave. That's my retribution for making me watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. There's your horror movie. Eat shit.
I was wondering why you were looking off screen.
Plotting your demise, my friend. I've been saving up for a minute. I just exhausted all my points.
That's 3. Fuck.
It's 3 in a row.
It's 3 on a row or 3 all at once?
3. That's dealer's choice.
Fucking. Oh God, it's not going to be any better either way.
Exactly.
You know what? That's fine. You're gonna. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Oh no! Don't ASMR this. That's not fun. Jordan, mute him. I can't handle this. I'm gonna barf. I'm gonna barf on stream.
It's gonna make 2 of us.
This is miserable. What a miserable stream. Just start coughing out chalk plumes. Friggin' beautiful, dude. Yeah, there we go. Flush it all out.
Oh, I made it worse.
Oh yeah, I bet it did. Oh, Icky, what's your horror movie idea? I want to hear this. Because
my God,
there's plenty of stuff that we could dive into, and I think there are some studios and there's some creators out there who are diving into those things. Oh, there you go. Wait, can Dave and I be in it? And can you actually murder me?
Please, I'll do it after that.
Dave signing up. This sounds great.
God, I hate you.
Would they do it like one of those? What was that movie called? Like Unfriended or something, where it all takes place on like a screen, on like somebody's like computer screen. That'd be cool.
I'm thinking about getting murdered while eating Neckos. That's the literal worst way to go.
It's the worst way to go. It's the driest way to go.
choking to death on your Neckos. Oh God.
So Dave, I need to know, is this a recommend for you or not? The Exorcist.
Sure. I mean, it's a classic. See it for it to be a classic, but otherwise, see it and know that you're going to go in being like, really?
Yeah, I recommend watching it if you like horror movies, but knowing that like it doesn't really hold up, but it is the genesis of a lot of modern exorcism films. I don't think it's great. It's not something I like willingly come back to or anything, but it was fun to see again. Yeah. I'd say recommend, but it's soft recommend, and only if you're into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and recommend, but I wouldn't blame you for turning it off.
Yeah, exactly. I feel yes, exactly. A succinct way to put it. So what do we got going on next, Dave?
Well, we got our episode 4 of season 3 coming out on next Monday. We just had our episode 3, like I said earlier, mob movies, Godfather, The Godfather versus Goodfellas, with special guest Floriana Lima, my cousin. And I guess we've already, for the first time in months, I guess, figured out the next week's stream, which is going to be Idle Hands and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yes, we're talking about a new and an old, both comedic, so I've been told. Haven't seen them both, so I'm excited. But next week we're talking about cult horror films on the podcast. We got a whole show. We're doing the original Wicker Man versus Midsummer, the Ari Aster film. So it's a fun time. I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. So check it out. But thank you guys, as always, for showing up. We'd love to see you guys. Everybody that's been here. It's always great to see you guys every week. So also come hang out on the Discord if you'd like. Now that I'm getting through some work stuff, I can be on there a little more. Might be streaming some stuff as well on the Discord. Sometimes I watch the movies for this stream on the Discord. Icky knows we've watched a couple together. It's a good time, and John's there. Everybody, Pizzas is there. My mom's there. Everybody's there. So you don't want to miss out.
It's a good time to be alive. I'm not there.
Dave doesn't show up. Dave's got mail to deliver, so. But we will be back also in person together in a month or so in my apartment. We're going to be watching some movies. We're going to be streaming. We're going to be doing all the stuff and all the things. So thank you guys. Can't wait to get back to public domain movie night. So if you have a weird public domain movie you want to see or you want to watch with us, let us know here in the Discord on social media. And we're probably going to watch it because I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love movie night.
Yes, it's going to be so fun. I can't wait either.
Yeah. Anyway, until next week, thank you all. Love you all. And have a great week.
Yes. Love you. Bye.